Hello students, good morning everyone. So students, today we will start a new chapter and the name of the chapter is the green plants. Today we will study about the green plants and this is of class 4th. Okay. So students, let us see the contents of this chapter. What are we going to study in this green plants? Okay. So students, the contents of this chapter are leaf. First we will study about the leaf. What are the parts of a leaf and what is the function of a leaf? What are the different function of a leaf? Okay. Then how do leaf make food? How does this leaf make food? Then what are the uses and storage of food by plants? How is this food used and stored by the plant? And then the interdependence of plants and animals. How are these plants and animals dependent on each other? So these are the topics of this chapter that we are going to study. First, let us start with leaf. Okay. So kids, see what it is written in the slide. Most of the plants on earth are green plants. Yes or no? Most of the plants that you see around are green in color. Yes? Then the appearance of green color of the plants are due to the presence of green pigment substance called as chlorophyll, which is present on the leaves of the plants. And why is this plant green in color? Why are most of the plants green in color? Because the leaf of the plant, it contains a pigment or substance which is called as chlorophyll. Okay, this chlorophyll makes the leaf green in color. The presence of this pigment named chlorophyll, chlorophyll. Okay, this is the green pigment or substance you can say which is present in all green plants. Okay, which is present in all the leaf of green plants. Due to the presence of this pigment, the leaf gets its green color. The leaf are green in color. Understood? Then there are different types of leaves in different plants. Yes or no? There are different types of leaf. The leaf of every plant are of different types. They are of different shape, different size. Yes or no? Some leaves are small, some leaves are big. Okay. So every plant has got its different types of leaf. Okay. And plants can be identified by looking at their leaves. We can identify the plants by looking at their leaf. When we see the leaf, we can identify which plant is this. Okay. So students, the leaf is green in color because of the presence of chlorophyll. It is a pigment or substance you can say. Because of the presence of this pigment, the color of the leaf is green and hence the plants looks green in color. How do the plants looks green in color? Because of the presence of leaf. Yes or no? Because there is leaf in the plants, that is why those plants are green in color. We call them green plants. And why is this green plants green in color? Because of the presence of pigment or substance you can say that is present in the leaf, that is called as chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the green pigment which is present in the leaf of plants which makes them green in color. Okay, and different plants have got different types of leaf in different shape, in different sizes. Okay, and we can identify the different plants by the shape and size of their leaf. Okay, we can identify the plants by looking at the leaf. Understood? And now students, what are the different parts of a leaf? A leaf has a flat part called the leaf blade. It has a flat part. Leaves are usually flat, yes or no? And that flat part is called as leaf blade. It is also called as lamina, Lamina. The leaf blade is also called as lamina. Okay, the flat part of a leaf is called as leaf blade. Some leaves have very broad leaf blade, whereas some have narrow ones. Yes or no? Some leaves are broad, that means they are big, and some leaves are narrow. They are thin or they may be small in size. Yes or no? Then each leaf usually has one main vein and many side veins. Each leaf has got one main vein from which the side veins forms, okay? And that the main vein is also called as midrib, from where the different small veins grows, okay? So every leaf usually has one main vein, and that main vein is also known as midrib, and many side veins, okay? Then veins help in the transportation of substance like water, minerals and prepared food to and from the leaf. And what is the function of this vein in the leaf? They help in the transportation of different substances like water. Water can be transported to or from leaf to different parts of the plant. Understood? Then it also transports minerals that is absorbed by the roots of the plant from the soil. Those are transferred by the veins that is present in the leaf. Okay, and prepare food to and from the leaf, and it also helps in transporting the prepared food. The food that is prepared in the leaf, it is transferred through the veins. Like in human body, we have veins in our body, yes or no? Through which the blood circulates in our body. Through which the blood passes in our body to every part of our body. Yes or no? The blood flows in our body to every part through veins. In the same way, plants also have got veins from which it can transport substances like water, minerals and food that is prepared in the leaf of the plant. Understood? Then the underside of a leaf contains millions of tiny openings called as stomata. Leaf also contains stomata. Stomata are the tiny pores that is present on the underside, that means in the lower side of the leaf. Okay, these stomata cannot be seen with our eyes because they are very tiny and very minute, and there are millions and millions of tiny pores, tiny openings which we cannot see. Okay, these tiny pores which is present on the underside of the leaf are called as stomata. And what does this stomata do? This stomata helps in exchange of gases. That means the stomata let air in and out from the leaf. It helps in the exchange of gases. It takes the air in and out from the leaf. It takes in the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and it produces oxygen, which is essential for living organisms to breathe. Okay, plants gives us oxygen, yes or no? And these oxygen are given out by the stomatal pores which is present on the underside of the leaf. Understood? So these are the different parts of the leaf. First, it has got a leaf blade which is also called as lamina. It is different in different plants. So in some plants it may be broad and in some plants it may be narrow. Okay, then each leaf usually has one main vein. It has one main vein which is also called as midrib, from where the several veins comes out and forms. Okay, and these veins, the function of these veins is to transport water, minerals and food substance to the leaf, to the different parts of the leaf, and also from the leaf and to the leaf. Okay, it transports the water and minerals and prepared food to different parts of the plant. And on the underside of the leaf there are small tiny millions of tiny pores, which is called as stomata, which helps in the exchange of gases. It helps the stomata let in the air in and out on the leaf. It helps in exchange of gases. It takes in carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and it gives out oxygen. Understood? It is the exchange of gases is done from the stomatal pores which is present in the leaf. Understood? So students, can you see the diagram? These are the parts of leaf. First there is petiole. Okay, the stem that you can see, the soft stem of the leaf, it is called as petiole. Petiole, petiole. Okay, then the base of the leaf, that is called as leaf blade or lamina, you can say. Okay, and the mid one, the middle part of the leaf, it is called as midrib, midrib, midrib. And the veins that you can see coming out from the midrib, those are called as veins, from which the transportation of water, minerals and food substance are transported. Okay, then the pointed part of the leaf is called as the tip of the leaf. Okay, and the lining of the leaf are called the margin of the leaves. Okay, and these are the stomatal pores that is present in the leaf, by which the exchange of gases takes place. Okay. And now students, what is the function of leaf? What does a leaf do? Okay, a leaf performs the following function. See, the leaf of a plant makes food. Therefore, it is called the food factory of a plant. The main function of the leaf in a plant is to make food. It synthesizes food. Okay, and the process by which the plants make food for the plant is called as photosynthesis. Okay, the process by which the leaf of the green plants make food for the plant, it is called as photosynthesis. Okay, therefore it is called as the food factory of a plant. Since leaf prepare food for plant, that is why leaf is called as the food factory of the plant. And it helps a plant to let air in and out through stomata. The leaf of the plant helps to take in air and gives out the air by the stomata, by the stomatal opening. It helps a plant to let in and out, to let air in and out through stomata. Understood? So these are the basic function of a leaf. And apart from that, plants need oxygen to stay alive. Yes or no? Plants need oxygen. All the living organisms need oxygen to stay alive. Without oxygen, we cannot stay alive. Yes or no? And during photosynthesis, plants take in carbon dioxide and it gives out oxygen. When they go under the process of photosynthesis, when they make food, these plants, they take in carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and they give out oxygen. Okay. On the other hand, during breakdown of food, when they prepare the food, plants take in oxygen and gives out carbon dioxide. When they transport food, it takes in oxygen and it gives out carbon dioxide. Okay, and these both processes are performed in the leaf only. Okay, During photosynthesis, when plants prepare food, they take in carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and they give us oxygen. Yes or no? But when the food is prepared and when the leaf transport food to the different parts of the plant, at that time they take in oxygen and they give out carbon dioxide, because plants also need oxygen to stay alive. Yes or no? So during the breakdown of food, when the food is being transported to the different parts of the plant, this plant, they take in oxygen and they liberate. That means they give out carbon dioxide. Understood? And all the processes are done in the leaf. So this is the main function of the leaf. The main function of the leaf is to prepare food for the plant body. Okay, and it also helps the plant to let air in and out through the stomata. Stomata are the tiny pores which help in the exchange of gases, which is present in the underside of the leaf, on the down portion of the leaf. Okay, and this stomata you cannot see with your naked eye because they are very small in size. They can be seen under microscope. Okay, so these are the function of leaf. And now students, how do these green plants make their own food? All the green plants can make their own food. Yes or no? And how these green plants can make their own food? By the presence of chlorophyll in it. Since the green plants has got green pigment named as chlorophyll, that is why they can prepare their own food. Okay, all the green plants are green in color due to the presence of chlorophyll pigment in them. In the leaves, there is a pigment or a substance you can say named as chlorophyll. That is why they are green in color. And students, how do these green plants make their own food? Green plants make their own food with the help of chlorophyll that is present in their leaf. The chlorophyll pigment that is present in their leaf, with the help of this pigment, they can make their own food. Why? Because this chlorophyll, they can trap the sunlight, and sunlight is very important in making food for the green plants. Understood? They use light. From where do they use light? They use light from the sun during daytime. Okay. Water and carbon dioxide present in air as raw materials to make food. These are the raw materials that is present, that is light, water and carbon dioxide are the raw materials that is present in the air to make food. Water, carbon dioxide is present in air. Yes or no? And light they get from the sun and water from the soil. Okay, plants get light from the sun, water from the soil and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, that is from the air. These are the raw materials by which the green plants can make their own food. The raw materials are obtained through the process given below. These are the process from which these raw materials are obtained. Water is absorbed by the roots and carried through the stem to the leaves. This water is absorbed from the soil by the roots. The roots of the plant absorb water from the soil, and this water is transported to different parts of the plant by the stem. The stem supplies this water to the different parts of the plant body. Okay, to the leaves also. And when light falls on leaves, light means when the sunlight it falls on leaves, it is absorbed by the chlorophyll, then that is present on every green plant. Chlorophyll is present in every green plant, which traps the sunlight in the leaf, which is very necessary to prepare food. And carbon dioxide is taken through the stomata. The stomatal pores is used in exchange of gases. Yes or no? So these carbon dioxide are taken through the stomata. Okay, as the food is prepared, oxygen is given out through the stomata. When the food is prepared in the leaf, the oxygen is given out through the stomata. Understood? So these are the raw materials that is obtained by the plants. And how it is obtained? Water is obtained from the soil by the roots of the plant. It absorbs the water and it is transported by the stem to the different parts and to the leaves of the plant, and light is trapped by the chlorophyll that is present in the leaf, and carbon dioxide is taken through the stomata from the air. And as the food is prepared, oxygen is given out through the stomata. The oxygen is produced by the stomata, okay, in the atmosphere. And now students, as we know that the function of stomata is to exchange the gases. It takes in carbon dioxide and it liberates, that means it gives out oxygen. Yes or no? Now the stomata perform the following important function for the plant. These are the important function that is performed by the stomata for the plant during photosynthesis. And what does it do? It take in and give out air. They take in carbon dioxide and they give out the oxygen. Okay. Then they remove water vapor and oxygen after photosynthesis from the plant. Photosynthesis is the process where food is prepared by the green leaf. And when the food is prepared, they give out oxygen and water vapor from the plant body. Okay, so these are the important function that is performed by stomata in the plant body. And students, see, the process by which leaves use sunlight to convert water and carbon dioxide into food is called as photosynthesis. The water that is absorbed from soil and the carbon dioxide that is taken in by the stomata, these water and carbon dioxide are turned into food substance using the sunlight. Sunlight is used in preparing these food substance. In converting this water and carbon dioxide, sunlight is used to convert these water and carbon dioxide into food. And this process of conversion, where the green part of the plant, the green leaves, in the presence of chlorophyll, with the help of sunlight, then water, minerals that is absorbed from the soil, and carbon dioxide from the air, by which they prepare their own food, is called as photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which the green plants make their own food in the presence of chlorophyll in the green leaves with the help of sunlight, water and carbon dioxide, is called as photosynthesis. Okay. And what do you mean by photosynthesis? Photo means light. Photo means the sunlight, and synthesis means to put together. That means to prepare. Synthesis means to prepare, to put together. Understood? So this is the process of photosynthesis, and these are the important function that is performed by stomata for the plant body. Okay? And now students, how is the food used and stored by the plant body? How is the prepared food used and stored by the plant body? Okay. The food prepared by the process of photosynthesis is glucose. The food that is prepared in the leaves, okay, that is called as glucose. Okay, glucose is prepared by the leaf by the process of photosynthesis. Understood? Then the stem and branches of the plant take the prepared food from the leaf to the other part of the plant body. Okay, the prepared food from the leaf is carried by the stem and branches of the plant, and they are taken to the different parts of the body by the stem and the branches of the plant body. The food is being transported by the stem and the branches of the plant body to the other parts of the plant. Okay, the whole part of the plant body needs food to grow. Yes or no? We eat food, that is why we grow. Food is necessary for the growth of our body. Yes or no? In the similar way, the food that is prepared in the leaf, it is transported by the help of stem and the branches of the plant body to the different parts of the plant. Okay, then the plant use some of this food for its daily activities and stores the extra food as starch in the different parts. Okay, starch is a form of carbohydrate. Starch is a form of carbohydrate. Okay, carbohydrate is called as energy giving food. Okay, there are some kinds of vegetables, yes or no, that we eat which contains carbohydrates. Some food items that contains carbohydrates which gives us energy. Okay, the food that is not used by the plant body, some food that is prepared by the leaf are used by the plant body, okay, to do its daily activity, because plants prepare food every day. Yes or no? The process of photosynthesis is being carried out every day by the plants. So to work they need energy. We need energy to work. Yes or no? In the same way, plants also need energy to work, and the food that is prepared by the leaf for the plant body, students, half of the food is being utilized by the plant body and the rest is being stored as starch in the different parts of the plant body, which is later used as food, which is later consumed by us. Okay, we eat different kinds of vegetables and food items which contain starch, and starch is a form of carbohydrate which is also called as energy giving food. Understood? So this is how the food is being used and stored by the plant body. This is how the food is used and stored by the plant body. The food that is prepared in the leaf, it is called as glucose. The food that is prepared by the process of photosynthesis, that food is called as glucose. Okay, and the stem and branches transport this food to the different parts of the plant body. And some plants use some of this food for its daily activities to prepare food, to perform photosynthesis, and the rest of the food which is not used, it is stored in the form of starch, which is later used or consumed by the different living organisms. Understood? And now students, what is interdependence of plants and animals? Interdependence means how these plants and animals are dependent on each other. Interdependence means how these plants and animals are dependent on each other. See, plants and animals are dependent on each other in many ways. There are many ways by which these plants and animals are dependent on each other. Okay, green plants are the main producers of food. Green plants are called as the main producers of food because only green plants can prepare its own food. Okay, and green plants provide food for different parts of the plant and for living organisms also. Okay, then animals depend on these plants for food, and thus a chain exists in nature for obtaining food. The food that is prepared by plants is obtained by the animals. The food that is prepared by the plants is eaten by us and animals. Yes or no? So this forms a chain in nature for obtaining food. This forms a chain in nature. Okay, then, and students, animals depends on these plants for food. Okay, this is how the food that is prepared by the plants is eaten by us. This forms a food chain. Understood? This interdependence of plants and animals in a food chain help to maintain a balance between the number of plants and animals. Thus, if there is a sudden increase or decrease in the number of either plants or animals, the balance in nature will be disturbed. The food that is prepared by the plant, if it is not taken by the animals, the food will be wasted. Yes or no? The plant is the main producer of food. The plant is considered as the main producer of food, and the plant the food that is prepared by the plant is consumed by animal. The animals eat the plant. The food that is prepared by the plant, the animals eat that. Yes or no? And thus it forms a food chain. And by this the balance of plants and animals is maintained in the nature. There is a balance between the number of plants and animals in the nature. Okay. And if there is sudden increase, if there is increase of animals or plants in the environment, then there will be a disturbance in nature, because if there will be more number of trees and less number of animals, then what will happen? All the plants will be congested, yes or no? To maintain the balance in the nature, the plants are eaten by the animals. Okay, these animals are also eaten by different higher animals so that they maintain the balance in the nature. See, beside plants also gives out oxygen, which is needed by animals to breathe. Animals in return give out carbon dioxide, which is necessary by plants to make food. Okay, the food that is prepared by the plants, that is eaten by animals. Okay, and in return this plants also gives us oxygen, which is important by the animals to breathe. We breathe what? We breathe oxygen, yes or no? So in the similar way, plants take in carbon dioxide, which is produced by the animals, which is needed by the plant to prepare food. And this is how this makes a balance in the nature. This is how plants and animals are interdependent on each other. Plants provide food and oxygen to animals, and animals provide carbon dioxide to the plants, which is necessary by the plant body to prepare food. Okay, and thus this forms a chain of food, maintaining the balance in nature. It balances the number of plants and animals in the nature. Okay. Now see students, what is food chain? What do you understand by food chain? A chain that shows a series of organisms where each member depends on the lower member in the series for food is called food chain. Food chain is a process where small organisms are eaten by higher organisms to maintain balance in nature. See, plants is eaten by cow or insects, yes or no? Then these insects are eaten by frogs, which is higher than the insect, and this frog is later eaten by the snake, which is higher than the frog, and these snakes are also eaten by the hawk or vultures. And these hawk, when they die, they are decomposed or eaten by the microorganisms like fungus, bacteria. Okay, these are the microorganisms which decompose the dead body of these higher classes animals. This is how the food chain occurs. See, plants is eaten by cow. Cow is eaten by tiger. Yes or no? And when tiger dies, it gets decomposed into the soil where microorganisms eat the body of the tiger, or the vultures, they eat the body of the dead plants and animals. Yes or no? So this is how a food chain occurs. Okay, this is the food chain, a chain which shows the series of organisms where each member depends on lower member in the series of food is called a food chain. Understood? The higher classes of animals eat the lower classes of animals, and plants is the primary producer of food, because plants produce food. Okay, plant is considered to be the primary producer of food. There are primary, and a plant is known as producer. Then there is primary consumer. Primary consumer means the very small class of consumer. Okay, like insects, then some small animals. Okay. Then there is secondary consumer, which is bigger than the primary consumer, which eat the primary consumer. The secondary consumer eat the primary consumer, and this secondary consumer is eaten by the tertiary consumer. Okay. And then this tertiary consumer is eaten by the final consumer. This tertiary consumer are eaten by the final consumer. This is the food chain that occurs. Understood? See students, there is an activity to show that plants contain starch. The food that is prepared by the plant body, it contains starch. How you can prove it? See, what is our aim to do this activity? The experiment that we perform to show something, that is known as aim. When we want to show something experimentally, that is called as aim. So our aim is to test the starch. Okay, we will test the starch whether the food that is prepared by the plant, it contains starch or not. Okay. So for that, what do you need? The things that you need is potato, a dropper. Dropper means to suck in and pour the liquid that is needed to do the experiment. Okay. Then an iodine solution. An iodine solution is also needed. Okay. Then what is the method to do this experiment? First, you will take the potato and you will cut it into two pieces. Okay. And you will put a few drops of iodine solution on the cut side. On the cut side, when you cut the potato, on that cut side, you will pour some drop of iodine solution in it. Okay. If the iodine solution turns the color of the potato into bluish black, when the color of the potato turns into bluish black, this shows that the potato contains starch. Okay, if you put the iodine solution in the cut side of the potato, and if that potato turns into the bluish black, it means that the potato contains starch. The food that is prepared by the plant, it contains starch, that is carbohydrate. Okay, by this activity you can prove it. Understood? And students, now the next experiment is to show that sunlight is needed by the leaves of the plant for the process of photosynthesis. To prepare food, the leaves need sunlight. And how can you prove this? The things that you need to do this experiment is a potted plant. You can take a plant, okay, then a beaker. Beaker means a container, then water, spirit, iodine solution and dropper. These are the things that you need. And what is the method to perform this experiment? You keep that potted plant into a dark room and you continue to water that plant, but you keep that in dark room so that there is no sunlight. Okay. Now pluck a leaf from that plant and you boil it in water. After boiling that leaf, you pour some iodine solution in it and you see and wash the leaf in the cold water. You see whether the color of the leaf changes or not. You will notice that the color of the leaf will not change. Why? Because there is no starch. And why there is no starch? When plants prepare food, the food that is prepared by the plant is in the form of glucose, that is starch, is in the form of carbohydrate. Yes or no? And when there is no sunlight, how will the plant prepare food? Yes or no? To prepare food, the green plants need sunlight. This shows that no starch was formed. Light alone was not available to the plant to photosynthesize and produce glucose. Since when plants prepare food, they produce glucose, which is a form of starch. This shows that light is needed for the process of photosynthesis. Sunlight is very important for the process of photosynthesis. Understood? So students, what did we study today? We studied about the green plants. Yes or no? And all the plants are usually green in color. All the plants that we see around are usually they are green in color. There are very less plants which are not green in color. And why these plants are green in color? Because of the presence of chlorophyll pigment that is present on the leaf of green plants. Okay? And there are different types of leaf in different plants. Some are broad and some are narrow, and different plants can be identified by the shape and the size of the leaf. Okay. Then the parts of the leaf has different parts, like the flat part of the leaf is called as leaf blade or lamina, and some leaf are broad and some are narrow. Okay. Usually leaf has one main vein which is also known as midrib, and from midrib they have the many side veins. Okay. This veins helps in the transportation of food substances like water, minerals and prepared food to and from the different parts of the leaf, okay, to the plant body. And there is also tiny pores which is present on the underside of the leaf known as stomata, by which the exchange of gases takes place. Okay. Then what are the function of leaf? The main function of leaf is to prepare food for the plant body and also for different other organisms. Okay. And this leaf, it helps a plant to let air in and out through stomata, through the tiny pores which is present on the underside of the leaf known as stomata. Okay. Then how do these plants prepare their own food? Plants prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis, in which the green plants, in the presence of chlorophyll, the green pigment which is present in the leaf, with the help of sunlight, water and minerals from the soil and carbon dioxide from the air, they prepare their own food. Okay. The water is absorbed by the soil, by the roots of the plant. Then light from the sunlight. Light is absorbed from the sunlight, and chlorophyll traps the sunlight into the leaf, by which the green plants can prepare their food, and carbon dioxide is taken from the air. Okay. And this food which is prepared, as the food is prepared, the oxygen is given out through the stomata. Okay. The oxygen that is produced, it is given out from the plant body by the stomata. Then the stomata also removes the water vapor and oxygen after the photosynthesis process is done. Okay. Then how is the prepared food used and stored by the plants? The food that is prepared by the plant body is in the glucose form, which is also called as starch. Okay. And the stem and branches of the plant take the prepared food from the leaf to the different part of the body. The food that is prepared by the plant is used for its daily activities to prepare food, and some extra food it is stored in the form of starch in different parts of the plant. Okay. And how is plants and animals dependent on each other? Plants and animals are dependent on each other because they benefit each other. Plants prepare food for animals, okay, which is needed by the animals to stay alive. Okay. And animals gives the carbon dioxide to the plants, by which they prepare their food. And plants are eaten by the animals to balance the number of plants in the environment, in the nature. Okay. Thus it forms a food chain where plants is eaten by animals and animals are eaten by higher class of animals, to maintain the balance of number of animals and plants in the nature. And what is food chain? Food chain is a series of organisms where each member depends on lower member in the series of food. That means the lower organisms are eaten by the higher class of organisms to maintain balance. Okay. This is food chain. Understood? So this was all for this chapter. I hope you understood. So students, in the next class we will continue further with the next chapter.